This one is called The Little Merhog, and either this is a strange premonition of the werehog several years ahead of Unleashed, or we're going back underwater. I hope it's the former. I want to see all of the different Sonic versions get turned into a hideous beast. We begin the episode with the cursed shot of Tails' feet. You're welcome, Internet. He and Sonic are fishing, but get bored because the fish aren't biting. Tails somehow manages to catch one as he is leaving, and it's a Sonic recolor. This show is the reason we had the Sonic recolor plague for so long, isn't it? They bring her near the beach only to realize that she's a mermaid, or Merhog. Her name is Myrna, and she asks the duo to help save her people from Captain John Paul Memo. Not Robotnik? 0 out of 10, worst episode ever made. Tails brings out some diving suits that he just had for some reason, and they all go to Myrna's grotto. Meanwhile, a robotic octopus is terrorizing the citizens underwater, piloted by the previously mentioned Captain John Paul Memo. Captain and his associate here, named Lieutenant Bananas, write a memo to himself. This is his entire shtick. He says that he wants to destroy the underwater cities for land development and to charge them all rent. So, another standard Robotnik plot, but with that sex appeal himself to say it. Sonic and company stumble into the octopus, so the inevitable brawl ensues. Well, I say brawl, but he just tied it up and let it sink into the depths. Sonic starts flirting with the Merhog as the captain notices the trio. Also, they start playing what has up until this point been exclusively Robotnik's theme. It's the song I play whenever I do a statue watch segment. It's really off-putting. They realize they were attacked by a wild Sonic the Hedgehog, so they begin their counterattack, over a minute after being thoroughly defeated. This fight lasts about as long as the last one, with the Octobot inking Sonic and friends and landing the first hit. So the Octobot proceeds to eat them as Myrna dreads being turned into a mini-mall, and come on, you already know I want this to happen, but we all know it won't. Myrna summons some electric eels, which she can apparently communicate with, and shocks the Octobot, freeing them all. Lame. Sonic proceeds to give it the killing blow, but in his own words, the ship has been Hedgehog-proofed. If this is a thing, please write a memo to Captain John Paul Memo to share this technology with Dr. Ivo Robotnik at the earliest convenience. Myrna leads the others away to Mertopia. It's this world's version of Atlantis. The queen of the Merhogs, which yes is her full name, asks them to do what they were already doing. But alas, the captain is tearing into Mertopia. Sonic runs out of the cave, promising to defeat Memo, with Tails chasing close behind. Hello and welcome back to Statue Watch. Hey, remember this music? The music I talked about just a minute ago? Yeah, it's a good song. So, thankfully, we do have a Robotnik statue this time. It's a really glorious statue too, I think you'll agree. There's just these two bulging eyes. The mustache is different on each side of his face, with one side of it kind of bending, the other side is just full on straight. The mouth is just agape. I didn't have any statues that were even remotely similar to this, and I love that. I think it's a really good statue, one of the best. I just used episode 31 as my comparison shot, but that's only because 31 also has a funny face. That's it. There's nothing else that even looks remotely similar to this so far, which, I don't know, I like that. I think it makes this look better. Anyway, see you all back in the episode. We cut to Scratch and Grounder as they try and fail to clean dishes, and Grounder being terrified by a ghoulish lasagna hand, only for Scratch to look inside and think it's empty, and then Grounder to reopen it and be attacked by the hand. Okay, that is the first time I've laughed at this show in any capacity for like 20 episodes. I don't even have a snarky remark this time. It's just one of the few jokes in the show that I find genuinely funny, if a little drawn out. Sonic and Tails are here for some reason, and enter the lair in disguise. Yeah, go ahead, you may as well give them your social security numbers while you're at it. Scratch and Grounder are informed of Memo's plot, so they go and tell Robotnik. And the hand eats the disguise pizza, don't ask. Robotnik is trying to play some homemade mini-golf when the robots arrive. You've seen this joke 100 times in better shows. The robots tell Robotnik about Memo, how he is planning to attack the land after taking over the sea, despite this claim never being said by Sonic, Tails, the Merhogs, or even Bananas or the Captain. It's just out of nowhere. Robotnik says they graduated together, so he has an interest in sabotaging him from succeeding. You know the whole you can't win unless I win first mentality. It might be flimsy, but I'm just happy Robotnik's here. This episode really scared me into thinking that he was out of luck there for a bit. Robotnik orders the robots to build a submarine, which they immediately oblige, but they also can't decide whose face to put on the sub. Robotnik is the answer. Always put Robotnik's face on. This isn't even an ego thing, just come on, you know this by now. Thankfully Robotnik agrees with my artistic vision and makes a truly magnificent submarine. They head out and find Memo pretty quickly, with a quick cutaway gag showing the Sonic and Tails are here too. Robotnik is given a nasty hit to the head and reacts appropriately by turning them into torpedoes. The torpedoes launched and hits Captain Memo's ship, with the two going at each other. Sonic and Tails pat themselves over a job well done and abandon ship. Sonic brags prematurely about Memo's defeat to the Merhog folks, with the robots having their first intelligent thought this episode, to tell Robotnik about Sonic's scheme. When they do, Robotnik decides to make it blow up in Sonic's face by calling a truce with Captain Memo. Sonic, Tails, and the Merhogs are playing in some water, don't ask, when Robotnik attacks. Robotnik makes it it immediately clear that he knows that he has been tricked and has struck a deal with Captain Memo to help him conquer Mertopia in exchange for half the rent. It's going so well! So of course Sonic had to ruin it by having Myrna call in a bunch of fish to fight Robotnik. He and Memo stood no chance. The latter even gets arrested by the Merhogs, and Sonic kisses Myrna out of nowhere. Though to be fair, it does at least seem to be mutual in this case. Less mutual is the Queen of the Merhogs wanting to get on with poor Tails. Actually, you know what, Tails? It's time to take charge and be a man. The episode ends with Robotnik being eaten by a shark. No, really. The Sonic says is about fire safety. Also, I know it's a weird time, but yeah, that's our entrapment scene, non-believers. We got one this time. Mark those dusty bingo cards. Actually, come to think of it, mark it twice for the last episode. I missed the ice prison for the car. The segment is fine. As for the episode itself, it's going back down to the depths of the ocean. I didn't hate it as much as some episodes, but Memo gets old quick. Robotnik takes half the runtime to even show up, and Sonic's even hornier than usual. Well, until next time, take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye-bye.